I think we can start. And let me start with a practical question. So, if a survey creates a beautiful point cloud, but the customer cannot open or use it, has the project really delivered full value? Today, we'll look at real examples from our partner in Chile and see how modern SLAM workflows can reduce field time, improve safety, and turn captured data into useful digital assets. Before we begin, let me quickly introduce our guest speaker. So joining us today is Jonathan Vergara, 3D Digitalization Specialist at Realtek Chile. As a 3D digitalization specialist, Jonathan focuses on the practical journey from reality capture to clear 3D deliverables that support project teams and decision making. So we're looking forward to hearing his perspective on the evolution of 3D scanning, the advantages of SLAM, point cloud management, and the transformation of captured data into useful digital assets. So welcome, Jonathan, and it's really great to have you here.
Oh, thank you very much. After that presentation, I don't know what to say in this moment.
So I think then maybe to start, I'd like to set the scene. So field teams can now capture enormous volumes of spatial data faster than ever. But faster capture is only useful when it also improves the customer's workflow, field safety, and final result. So I think that is why the full workflow matters, because choosing the right capture method, understanding the required accuracy, managing large point clouds, and planning a final deliverable the customer can actually use, I think it all requires an established workflow. So I think today we'd like to explore first how 3D scanning evolved and why mobile SLAM changed reality capture. Secondly, maybe some real cases where SLAM reduced field time and improved safety. And finally, why the point cloud is only the starting point and how it becomes drawings, 3D and BIM models, Gaussian splats, virtual tours, and other useful digital assets. So I think to start, Jonathan, could you briefly introduce yourself and share your background?
My name is Jonathan Vergara. I have over 12 years of experience with many brands of laser scanner. Realtek is a company, something special. In simple words, it's a company who sells devices and software that capture reality, but really we are a company that help our customer in obtain the maximum potential in every work, in every project with our devices and with our software, obviously. And we really are a professional partner, like our slogan say. We feel patient with this area. So today I will show you how laser scanning and point cloud impact in every project, and what are the principal issues that you have with this kind of technology. This is only something, is a topic very common, but I think it's important for maybe for other topics in the future. My English is not so good, so I'm so sorry if you don't understand something, but no. Okay. First, a simple question. What is a laser scanner? Laser scanning is a device who capture millions and millions of points to represent the reality. And for me, it's like a total station, but faster. And nowadays, there are many different types of technologies and brands to capture amount of data. For example, we have some equipment who capture 200,000 points per second, and we have other with 2 million points per second. So these devices can capture an incredible amount of detail, but this represents some issues. For example, you need a very big storage, you need a very big computer, and you need obviously a software license to process, to see, or to manipulate all this information. So the question here is, how do we make this information useful, something easy to use? Because the information must or need to be user-friendly. So a very evolution of the laser scanner. Initially, the terrestrial laser scanner were the first, this is my opinion, but were the first to make these devices popular, or this technology popular. In the beginning, I remember 12 or 15 years ago, a position took about 1 hour, and in this moment, capturing a position takes around 20 seconds. So in this moment, laser scanning terrestrial are very fast. This type of technology can capture with an accuracy of 2 millimeters around, maybe 1, in the worst case, 4 millimeters. So the precision is very good. For me, this key advantage is why these devices remain widely used today. But this big amount of data, you need a very big processing in software, and in the field, you require a lot of time too. So you obviously the price of these devices, I don't know in the rest of the world, but here in Chile, is over $30,000. And after this technology of terrestrial laser scanning, today are very popular since, I think, 2 or maybe 3 years, the SLAM technology. But obviously, this technology exists from, I don't know, but I know the SLAM technology from 12, maybe 15 years ago. But in these days are very popular, is for several reasons. For example, the first reason is the accuracy. In the past, these devices, you had 3 to 5 centimeters in accuracy, and in this moment, P2 and S2, you have 1 centimeter, even less. The capture speed is amazing. You can capture while you are walking. So this is a very, very big reason that these devices in this moment are very popular. Two other reason is they are multi-platform. So you can capture information while you are walking, but on a truck, on a drone, on a robot. So these devices are designed for movement. So it's very interesting, that facility for us. And simultaneous photo and video captured during the scan provides a key advantage for your survey workflow. So for all that reason, in this moment, these devices are very popular. Here we have some examples about this technology. For example, in the first video, you can see a substation electrical substation, sorry. And this, the length of this line was 4 kilometers around. We surveyed this information in 2, maybe 3 hours, and the data was 4 gigabytes. And the second survey was the second survey is a rural road. The goal here in this survey was to find the elevation difference between the entrance and the exit of a pipe crossing under a bridge and under a floor. The route was 7 kilometers of the long and took around 1, maybe 2 hours, and the data was 10 gigabytes. So in general, these devices are very fast, and even the point clouds are very beautiful too. Here we have other common example here in Chile. We have here a minor tunnel. I don't know if in other part of the world is common. The minor here in Chile is the most popular kind of work. And for example, this tunnel was captured with S2, I remember, and the total length was 12 kilometers and completed in 10 days. And the file data was 50 gigabytes. So that is very, very fast, and the size of the file maybe is too much, but compared with laser scanning terrestrial is not too much. Actually, the same kind of work with laser scanning terrestrial is the double in everything. And the most common work here in Chile is industrial mining plants. Here we have a real case. We capture this information with laser scanning terrestrial in 1 month, but we capture the same information with the SLAM in only 3 or 4 days. So
wow,
here,
huge difference.
It's amazing. It's amazing the difference in speed. And here we confirm the SLAM technology speed of data capture by at least 65 to 70% faster compared to terrestrial laser scanning. So you can a very resolution of the information, a very good accuracy, and you have something very special here in Chile is very important. I don't know, I know in the rest of the world it is the same. If you are less time in the field, you have safety for your team. So minery here in Chile is very dangerous. So if you have only 3 days, obviously, it's a very good for the safety of any person. So it's very amazing the speed of these devices. But here we have other issues. The problem here is, okay, we have a very beautiful point clouds, but the problem is, maybe not the problem, but I think it's issue, but you need a very high performance processor. That is obvious. You need a very generous RAM capacity, a very dedicated graphic card, a big storage for your computer. So you need a very, very workstation, a big workstation. And obviously, you need a software to manipulate and to process everything in only one device. So maybe for us, this is something common. This is something normally. But what happened with the rest of the stakeholder? What happened with the end user? What happened with the end manager or the big manager of a big company? What required to manipulate this information? Maybe it is not so common for them use this kind of information. Maybe for us it's something very simple. Maybe it's very common. But for the rest, maybe it's not necessary have all this capacity in their offices. So we propose, or we think the correct workflow that many brands need to give to every workflow in their software or in the brand in general. You need first capture information effectively. Second, you need process the information. Normally, this is the stop for any brands or for any technology. But the third step is transform that information in digital assets, in something simple to use, in something user-friendly. And what kind of digital assets? So in detail, for example, the first step is capture the very good information. This is a topic for, this is something simple, but this is a topic for an entire webinar, I think, because I remember the last webinar, the person mentioned about something about this, and I think it's the most important thing if you want to have very good or high quality results. So this is a topic really for an entire webinar, but we think obviously you need a very proper planning and field execution for are critical in obtaining a high quality data. For us, georeferencing is always the best practice. And finally, you also need to understand a higher point count doesn't necessarily mean a better result. That is very important, but I think this is a topic for other webinar. Second, you need processing that data in a comprehensive software. Here, I think Trion model has an advantage over its competitors in this area. I believe, I think it's the best slamming software available in this moment. And finally, and this is the final step that we think that this is important to understand. You need give or you need generate digital assets like, for example, virtual tours. Virtual tours are very popular in this moment here in Chile because you have a digital asset very easy to use. And you need generate Gaussian Splatting. In this moment is very popular. Gaussian Splatting, I think it's a good tool, but I don't know if it's useful for something, but it's a very interesting digital assets. But I think the most important, you need generate 3D models or BIM models. Here in Chile, it's very common using software like Revit, AutoCAD, or ZWCAD, or SketchUp, and Trion model has some tools about this, so it's very good. I think Trion model have even a connection with Revit, and generation of 2D drawings. I think is very common here in Chile. Use AutoCAD, and Trion model has tools about this too. So in general, this is where FJD Trion is moving in the right direction, because you obtain, they integrate everything in only one software, and it's our responsibility to give this information to our final consumer or user, and not only the point cloud. Even if you don't have a very big computer, or if you don't have computer, or you have a normal computer like me, you can use a Trion model web. I think in this moment, maybe it's something very revolutionary, and maybe in the future will be the most important thing in all the brands. So for me, Trion model web is something crazy, is something even beautiful, because you can process the information, but for us, it's very simple to share that information, these digital assets like point cloud, Gaussian Splatting, or virtual tools, with a simple link. So you can share that information, all this vast information, in a simple link through email or maybe WhatsApp. So I think that is a very good tool for everyone. Here we have some examples. Real example about this digital asset in real works, or in reality works. Here we have, for example, the photo of in a park near to our office, and we have like a digital asset, Gaussian splatting, point clouds, technical drawings, BIM model, and 3D model. The same in the past, I present you in this presentation the electrical substation. Here a real photo of that electrical substation, but we have the point cloud, the Gaussian splatting, the technical drawing, 3D model, and BIM model. We give to our customer everything for use in any step of a project. The same here, we have something binary. This is a very big work. Here we have a real photo. We have the point cloud, we have the Gaussian splatting, the technical drawing, and here the most important was the BIM model. So a very big problem since 10 or 15 years is how you share this information. Because in the past, even here in Chile, we didn't have the computer necessary to see, for example, a point cloud. So for example, for this project or mining project, it's not possible to share a point cloud with everyone because they don't have the computer or they don't have the software. Obviously, there are some professional people that use this point cloud like something very common, obviously, but there are many other persons, big managers, for example, that they can use this information and they don't see anything. So for us, it's very easy, for example, process the point cloud. Okay, that is something common, but generate a 3D model or a virtual tour. Here is a virtual tour is something very useful, and share that virtual tour, for example, with a finance manager or a manager in charge about in a big project. Is something very easy, and is something that the technology is give something useful and easy to use for anyone. So when you give this digital asset for any kind of professional, you are giving something with cause impact in the workflow in any step of the project. We save money, obviously, using SLAM, but obviously the safety here is very important. So if you have in fuel less time using other technologies, for anyone is something spectacular. So that is the first thing. Obviously, if you are in fuel 1 week and not 1 month, obviously your cost is reduced. So obviously that is important. But here the important is, okay, SLAM is not the best. It's only a tool complementary for other technologies. Maybe you need terrestrial laser scanning, but only in some cases or in some places. If you need, for example, more accuracy in some place, you need a laser scanning terrestrial. But in other, maybe it's not necessary. So normally in a simple project, the 80, maybe 89%, you don't need a terrestrial laser scanning. you need simply a SLAM. So if you use SLAM with terrestrial laser scanning, maybe drone too, and other technologies like GNSS, total station, I don't know, you need a complete information of all your environment, but in a few time, in only 1 week, not in 1 month. So that is the first thing. And obviously this information, the SLAM technology, you have a very good resolution for capture everything. So you don't need millions and millions and millions on points of points for generate a BIM model, for example. You only need not millions, only the necessary. That is a topic for other webinar, because it's so difficult to explain. That there are optimus in capture. It's not necessary to have, I don't know, information 1,000 of position of terrestrial laser scanning. Maybe with 100 is enough. So that number is special, is a number magic, and sadly is something you only obtain with your experience. It's not too easy to transmit to other people. And I think that is in this project, for example, was the most relevant to say. Normally in generate a BIM model, for example, normally between 5 to 10 people. This capture was in 1 week, and we generate all this information in, I think, 3, maybe 4 weeks. If you use, for example, only terrestrial laser scanning, I think 1 month in field, only processing that point cloud, 3, maybe 4 weeks, and after that, other months for processing BIM model. So you need 3 months. With SLAM and terrestrial laser scanning, totally 1 month. With only terrestrial laser scanning, 3 months. Finally, to summarize today's webinar, I think, okay, SLAM technology is something revolutionary, something very good. For me, it's a tool complementary to other technologies. But you have here a complete information. You have here a very important data for your workflow for the next step of in a project maybe. But you need to think in, not everyone knows, or not everyone have a computer or a very big software to manipulate this. So it's our responsibility to give obtain other digital assets like virtual tours, Gaussian splatting, drawings, 3D models, for give that information for the rest of the stakeholder, and this information will be useful and friendly for anyone. So I think that is the most important thing about the capturing information, and we think this is the workflow that every brand must to transmit to the rest of the world. And I think FJD Trion is giving a very important step in this topic. Trion model web is something, in this moment, I think is something revolutionary, but you need to understand in this moment, Trion model web is something very particular, because in this moment, you don't have the capacity to process a big amount of data. But that is now. But maybe in the future, obviously, if you develop this software or online software, maybe this is not a problem. But obviously, if you have all this information online, you only need a very good internet, nothing more. So, and here in Chile, we have a very good internet. So, is simplified. You can transform the point cloud, something very big, something very not too friendly with anyone, in something very useful and something very easy to use. So obviously, Trion Model Web here in Chile, maybe not today, but maybe in some month more, or maybe in 1 year, I think will be something revolutionary here in Chile, and I think in the rest of the world. I am very sure about that, and I am very happy with that, because it's not common to say this, but it's very good to see in a brand that is giving very interesting step. And FJ Dynamics is something special, I think, because you have angry to eat the world and generate new technology. So for us that is spectacular, and obviously your innovation give to us innovation in our workflow. So and here I show you a real example. Pass to the award in 3 months, in only 1 month, and maybe in the future all this information in 1 week. So the innovation is always the future for the humanity. So I think Trion Model Web will be something very, very interesting. I am waiting the artificial intelligence in this area. Here in Chile, we have some innovation in some areas, but nothing in point clouds, nothing in LiDAR, nothing in this kind of technology. So we are waiting something here in the company. We are looking for something about there. We are research something, but I don't want to say what are creating here. But I would like to see artificial intelligence, for example, in an analysis of this data, or maybe generating 3D models, magical. that will be something very very good. And maybe if you put artificial intelligence in the process, maybe you give to us something faster than we have today. So in this moment, I think we are a little baby, but we are waiting something special in artificial intelligence in the process. I think in the process is easier to implement in this moment. I am waiting, really, I am waiting something new of you, but obviously, Slata, that will be something revolutionary. Please tell me if you have something that, please tell me.
Yeah, I actually think that it's something that also is going to happen. And I think that's the direction in which most of the companies are moving right now. And actually, that's also what we are trying to do, because we can see that actually right now, it's not that we need to think about a solution that is only going to make the workflow easier. We also need to think about the solution that will make, for example, new generation like students, right, who have just graduated, that might not have that much of experience to.
I am waiting something artificial intelligence to generate 2D drawing and 3D model. I think in that part here in Chile is depend a lot of the human resources. So if you, I think in artificial intelligence in that part of the process I think will be revolutionary totally, because it's something, is the part slower in the process, because you need people who see the point cloud, and they transform that information in 3D models or in drawings, each piece. So is something very methodic and very slow. So artificial intelligence in that part of the process will be a revolutionary in every industry, not only here in Chile, I think in the rest of the countries of the region. Only if we need more accuracy and more detail. This is not so common. All depend of the goal of the project, or the goal of your work. But we use only in some cases. For example, if we need, for example, the detail here in the presentation, I show you something, a bridge, for example. But if I need a lot of detail, for example, a 3D model with with a level of detail very elevated, you need to use terrestrial laser scanning. In the other cases, SLAM is enough. So in this moment, our experience told me you use terrestrial laser scanning only in 20 or 30% of the cases. So it's not so necessary in this day. And if in the future your brand or any brand give to us a SLAM with maybe 7 millimeters in accuracy, I think maybe laser scanning terrestrial will be used only in some particular cases. So SLAM in this moment is giving a very good steps in this in the accuracy, and we are very happy with the digital asset we obtain with this kind of technology. And we are waiting a new device, or maybe a software upgrade in the software that the accuracy will be better. So in this moment, only in the 20 or 50% of the cases, we use terrestrial laser scanning, but maybe in the future will be less.
I see. Thank you very much for your presentation today. By the way, I also wanted to ask one question. So, because you have a lot of experience in this industry, but I think you also might meet people who are just starting in this industry, right? Or who, for example, are not familiar with SLAM scanners at all. So in your opinion, what is the biggest mistake that teams make when planning a survey with a SLAM scanner?
That is a very good question. Actually, we have in our YouTube channel a video, entire video about that question. The most typical mistake is to think that if you survey a lot of information, or a big data of information, you give a better result. And that is a very, very big mistake, and is a very common mistake. For example, if you are capturing a route like here in this, for example, if you are capturing a route like this slide, it's common to think, okay, I will pass with my car 10 times because I want to I want a very big point cloud with a lot of information, and that is a common mistake. There are a optimus number of points that you need for one project or other project. In this case, for example, we only pass only one time. So that is the most common mistake in this kind of work, I think. And sadly, sadly because you don't have a book with this workflow. This is something with you learn with experience. So you need to make mistake to do something good in the future. So, but that is a common mistake.
I see. Thank you, Jonathan, for sharing your insights with us today. And thank you to everyone who joined and participated. So we look forward to seeing you at our next webinar.